Yo, what up? This is a new episode right here. This will be volume 26 of my rap update. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys must know the deal. Y'all guys know that I'm gonna be reviewing classic hip hop albums non-stop. You know what I mean? The album that we talk about for tonight is one of my all-time favorite hip hop albums. This got me through some shit, growing up as a teenager, you know what I'm saying? Like this is one of the deepest hip hop albums I've ever heard in my entire life, man. And in my opinion, this particular individual that I'm talking about here, he was in his bag when he made this album. Like he just went through a lot with this shit, yo. So yeah, the album that we're talking about for tonight will have to be this album right here. Tupac's third album, Be Against the World, released in 1995. Y'all guys must know who Tupac is, you know what I'm saying? One of the most influential MCs of all time. The dude is in my top five, my top 10. I mean, his music definitely played a big part of my life, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is his third album released in 1995. Y'all guys must know what dope about this album right here. In my personal opinion, I think this is Tupac's best album. I did a review on All Eyes on Me, which came out back in 1996, back in June. That's a classic album. I love that album, but this album is where it's at for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he just he just putting his all into this album right here. Like he was going through a lot of shit during while this album was being recorded. You know what I'm saying? So before I go to the you know history of how this album was built came to life and stuff like that. Start off with the singles, all right. The singles as known for Dear Mama, Temptations, and So Many Tears. Three singles, all three of them have videos for, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this album was released 1 year after the Thug Life album, which came out back in 1994. Very dope album right there, the Thug Life Volume 1. That album, it was like more of a group album that have, Tupac, his stepbrother Mo Preem, Big Psych, rest in peace. Who else? Rated R and Macadocious. That album came out back in 1994. That album's known for songs like How Long Would They Mourn Me, Pour Out a Little Liquor, Cradle to the Grave, Straight Ballin'. I mean, very dope, very underrated. Um, although it's short, reason being because the label, Interscope Records, you know what I'm saying? Those are a lot of songs, those some songs that are supposed to make that album, but for some obvious reason, Interscope felt the songs was fucking too violent and shit like that. Like what the fuck? So fuck Interscope for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can hear some of the Thug Life leftovers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Them shits are fucking dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? So but before that album came out, Tupac, you know what I mean? He was very big, you know what I mean? You know, he starred in the movie Above the Rim, which I do have on DVD. Love that movie right there. Very underrated, classic. It's like a little basketball movie in a way. It had, Tupac plays as Birdie. You had Dwayne Martin as Kyle Watson, Marlon Wayans as Boogaloo, Leon as Thomas Shepard, Bernie Mac as Flip. By the way, rest in peace to Bernie Mac. You know what I mean? That was a very dope movie with a classic soundtrack. Tupac definitely killed that role as Birdie. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a very underrated movie. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. That's like my second favorite Pac movie. You know what I mean? Juice being the first one. You know what I'm saying? So that movie came out, you know what I mean? He was working on a Thug Life album and shit like that. And around this time too, around like oh shit. Sorry about that. So and around like this around and crazy thing too, like he was doing all that shit while he was going through that, rape trial that was going on with him around the time. Cause you guys know around like 1993, this bitch Ayanna Jackson, she accused, Tupac of raping her and shit like that. We all know that Pac didn't do it. He was innocent. You know what I mean? Like Haitian Jack and them niggas did that. You know what I'm saying? And but before that rape shit happened, you know what I mean? Like Tupac met the girl at a club, you know what I mean? Said what's up to her. You know, they have like a little dance, whatnot, did oral sex on the dance floor, you know, went to the hotel, did what they did, and all of a sudden, fucking came in Pac room, talking about he did this, he did that. Like, no, damn well he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking lying bitch. You know what I'm saying? In that Vlad interview, I spoke about that shit back in February. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's on my channel. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really, go in on that bitch, Ayanna Jackson. So fuck her for that. You know what I'm saying? So and around like November 94 or November 30th, 1994 in New York City, Tupac was going to Quad Studios and he was shot, you know what I'm saying? He was shot like 5 times and shit like that. And he pretty much accused Biggie of setting them up. But because you guys should understand, because Biggie around the time he just released Ready to Die, you know what I'm saying? It was critically acclaimed. It was very successful, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely an iconic album for his time, you know what I mean? But you know, like I said, Pac was shot and he was robbed in the studio or whatnot. He accused Biggie of like setting him up. He accused Biggie and Puffy for being involved with the robbery. But Big, he had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So that incident is what caused the beef between Biggie and Pac. Bad Boy and Death Row and shit like that. You know what I mean? But the situation with Puff and Suge was that Puff and Suge was at a party and shit like that, right? And Suge and Puffy was talking and whatnot. They was having like a little conversation and whatnot. And one of Suge homeboys got shot, you know what I'm saying? And he pretty much blamed Puffy for that. You know what I'm saying? So that and the 1995 Source Awards, the shit was televised. The whole East Coast West Coast drama was getting involved. It was getting real fucked up around that period of time. So yeah, Pac, he got shot, accused Biggie and them setting him up, but like I said, Biggie had nothing to do with it. So after that shooting, but he had to check out the hospital early because he had to go back to court, you know what I'm saying, because of that rape trial that he was going through, that whole case. And another thing too, before I get to that, around like 1993, y'all guys know that Tupac was supposed to be on the movie Menace to Society. You know what I'm saying? But for some strange odd reason, Tupac actually had like a little beef with the Hughes brothers. The cats who directed the movie. You know what I'm saying? I guess Tupac, he was supposed to play Sharif, it's like that. But I guess Tupac, he wanted to add more, to his role, but he didn't like how the way it came out. You know what I mean? He kind of felt it was too corny and shit. But and he was on your MTV Raps, you know what I mean, talking about how he beat up the Hughes brothers and shit like that. And he had a case against them as well. You know what I'm saying? So it was very controversial. It was all over the news at that period of time. So yeah. And back to the whole rape shit, you know what I mean? Like I said, Tupac he had to check himself out the hospital early, like I said, because he had to go to court. And he pretty much had to do jail time, you know what I'm saying? So he was not able to promote this album because you gotta understand he was incarcerated at this period of time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in 1995, this album was released, "Me Against the World." You know what I'm saying? This was actually the first album. Well, Tupac was actually the first hip hop artist to have a #1 album to hit the Billboard charts while being incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this the album right here. This album cover looks like. Love this fucking album cover. You see Tupac, chilling and shit like that. Like when you see this album cover, like it really sets the tone how this album's gonna be. Like this album is very dark. You know what I'm saying? It's very atmospheric. You know what I mean? Like you can really feel Pac's pain while hearing this album. You know what I'm saying? Just the back. Actual CD. Right here. Jewel case. By the way, this is not the OG, version. I actually got this from FYE, like back in 2014, 2015. And plus, believe it or not, this was actually the first Tupac album that I ever bought. So it tells you right there. You know what I'm saying? This actually, you know what I mean? I'm so glad to own this album in my collection. You know what I'm saying? It's the album cover right here. Back. It's like the little cross, for Pac tattoo. Y'all guys must be familiar with it. You know what I'm saying? The track listing. I know y'all guys saw this picture before. Came from this album right here. You know what I'm saying? Track listing. Production credits, shout outs, thank yous and shit. You know what I'm saying? I like how the way Tupac said this on here, on the booklet, on the liner notes. He said this: "Thank you to everyone who supported me during my time of need. You know who you are. And to all who remain loyal to me, I won't let you down. No thank you to all the busters, cowards, and fake homies who showed me the depth of jealousy, envy, and greed. My apologies to all my fans and friends that I turned my back on and didn't remain true to. In 95, it will be ratified. Much love to my family and my extended family, to my record company, and all my lawyers. Thanks." It's real shit right here. You know what I'm saying? See. All right. Track listing. See, Pac. You guys must know about this picture right here. Came from this track listing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. The producers on this album are Tony Pizarro, Easy Mo B, one of my favorite producers of all time, Soul Shock and Carlin, D Flisno, Mozium D, Mike Mosley, Sam Bostic, Brian G. Who else? Shock G from Digital Underground, and Johnny J. Those are the guest appearances on the album. All right. I mean the producers. Excuse me. Fuck. The guest appearances on the album are Dramacidal, aka Outlaws, Richie Rich, legend underrated MC from the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? 5150. You know what I mean? Reggie Green, Sweet Franklin. Fuck. Folks. Who else? Rara. Lady Levi. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think those are guest appearances on this album. All right. So yeah, this album has 15 tracks. So let's get to it. All right. Track number 1, intro. Fucking love this intro right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely love the beat for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just really get the sense how dope this album's going to sound like. You know what I'm saying? Like, a cool thing about this intro, you have like, the news coverages from, newscasters talking about, the Tupac shooting, his court cases and shit. Like, this is very dark and, very, it definitely has that orchestra type vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Track number 2, If I Die Tonight. One of my favorite tracks off this whole fucking album right here. One of my favorite pop tracks of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, produced by Easy Mo B. Great way to start the album. Tupac fucking murdered this joint right here. He's talking about what would he do if he leave this earth? Like, what would he do if he died? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I mean? Like, this on some straight up suicide shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a classic right here. You know what I mean? Like, Easy Mo B definitely did his thing on the joint right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to Easy Mo B, by the way. I'm friends with him on Instagram. He actually did a video on Instagram, like remaking this beat off the SP 1200. That was fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I love it when producers keep the archives and remake them. That's gold right there. You know what I'm saying? Track number three, Me Against the World, featuring Dramacidal, aka Outlaws. Another dope track right there. Definitely a classic. You know what I mean? Um, like I love the beat. You know, that song is actually on the Bad Boy soundtrack. You know, classic movie with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, came out back in 1995. You know what I'm saying? Dramacidal with Outlaws. I'm not the biggest Outlaws fan like that. Don't get me wrong. There's some they come correct on some certain songs every once in a while, but I don't know, man. I kind of feel like every time Pac is on a song, they kind of ruin it for me. That's just my personal opinion. But I like Yaki Gaddafi and Hussein Fatal. By the way, rest in peace to both of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Me Against the World, that's a very dope track. I mean, it has like more of a mainstream vibe to it, but it was still dope at the same time. It's definitely grimy and shit like that. That's what I fucking love about the song. You know what I'm saying? Um, Track number four, So Many Tears. That was a single. Definitely a dope track right there, dope video, you know what I'm saying? Um, like it's like a song that you would just play like if you in like in a dark mood, like if like one of your friends or your colleagues or your family pass away and stuff like that, and you cannot stop crying and reflecting on the past and how, you know, just you're having flashbacks and shit, you know what I mean? Like you just spend your whole day crying and stuff like that. Just pour your heart out, you know what I'm saying? Like just cry it out, you know what I mean? Like that's what the song that's the type of song that you just want to listen to. Definitely love the Stevie Wonder sample to that shit right there, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a classic, you know what I mean? Um, Track number five, Temptations. Love that fucking song right there. That was a single. That's actually a last single off the album. The video is very dope. You see, they was at like in a hotel. You got guest appearances from Coolio, Isaac Hayes, Trutch from Naughty by Nature, Warren G, Salt and Pepper, Adina Howard, Jada Pickett. Shit, gotta charge my fucking phone. Second time this happened. I'm trying to make a video. My bad, folks. Yeah, like that video is very dope. You see him like in a hotel and shit like that. Love the beat by Easy Mo B. Once again, he fucking killed that shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a little like a love song, but it's type of song that you could just want to play at a party or just vibe to all fucking day long. You know what I mean? Like you just can't get enough of that shit. You know what I mean? And like yeah, Ice T as well. It's been a while since I followed the video for Temptations. You know what I mean? It's been a grip. I might watch that. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you know, yeah, Tupac just talking about how he being a player, pretty much. You know what I mean, you like on his pimp shit. You know what I mean? Very dope. Track number six, Young Niggas. Dope track right there. You know what I'm saying? That song, Pac, he just like, you know, just reflecting on, his childhood, pretty much. You know what I mean? And by the way, the song was actually dedicated to this kid named Robert Yummy Sandiford. He was like he was this young boy. I forgot where he was from, but he was killed. I forgot what he did. I had to do research on this shit, but that song was actually a dedication to him. You know what I mean? So yeah, very dope track right there. You know what I'm saying? Um, but he was just telling these young boys out in the streets that like whatever you do, you need to stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? Like you just never gonna know what you might live sooner or later. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a very dope track. You know what I mean? Track number seven, Heavy in the Game, featuring Richie Rich. Um, that was a cool song. I mean, like that's the type of song that you would have heard on that you should have heard on All Eyes on Me. I mean it's a dope, don't get me wrong, it's a dope song, but I kind of feel like it didn't really fit the album because this album definitely has a dark twist to it. You know what I'm saying? But it has like more for like a West Coast G Funk type vibe to it, like something that you would have heard on All Eyes on Me. That's just my personal opinion. But it was a very dope song. I actually fucks with it. You know what I mean? Like Richie Rich. His first um his I think it's his third album. Let me see. Yeah, his third album, Seasoned Veteran, which came out back in 1996. Underrated, man. Check that album out if you ever heard it. You know what I mean? Um, Track number 8, Lord Knows. Fucking love that song. One of my favorites, man. Pac just killed that shit. You know what I mean? Quotables on point. Definitely love the beat. Like Lord is just he's talking about how the Lord is just watching over him and shit like that. Like watching his, his actions, like what he's going to do and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking sick, yo. Banger. Um, Track number 9, Dear Mama. Um, Everybody must know about that song right there, Dear Mama. That was like the first single off the album. There's a video for that. Pac is dedicating to his mother, Afeni Shakur. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? Somehow how she took care of him, you know what I mean, being a Black Panther, being involved with crack and shit like that, you know what I mean? Just looking out for him, taking care of him, make sure he become like a man that he is today. You know what I'm saying? That's a classic song. I mean, it's not one of my favorites, but it's like one of those songs that you just want to play like that on Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely has that feel good, type track. You know what I mean? All right. Track number 10, It Ain't Easy. It's a very dope track right there. You know what I mean? It's just a braggadocio song right there. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to it. Track number 11, Can You Get Away? Fuck this damn phone. Hold on a second, y'all. All right. Yeah, my bad, folks. Yeah, track number 11, Can You Get Away? That song right there was actually dedicated to Left Eye from TLC. Because around like 1994, she got arrested and she was sent to a halfway house because if you're a TLC fan, you guys must know the shit. She used to date the the Atlanta Falcons football player Andre Rison. You know what I'm saying? They used to go out whatnot. They had like a little some sort of on and off relationship, and he was cheating on her and shit like that. He's fuck with her and stuff like that, and I guess she got fed up and pretty much she's fucking burnt his whole goddamn house and shit. She was arrested for arson, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And she had to get sent to a halfway house and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus Tupac and Left Eye, they kind of had like a little close relationship and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was cool or not. You know what I mean? Like he was just letting them know like he's there for her just in case if something happens to her. You know what I mean? Like I definitely love the Frankie Beverly and Maze sample on that joint right there. You know what I'm saying? Like very dope. Um, by the way, rest in peace to Left Eye. You know what I'm saying? Track number 12, School. One of my favorite tracks of this album right here. On that song, Tupac, he's actually dedicated to the pioneers, the legends of the rap shit who came before him, like Kool Moe D, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, KRS-One, De La Soul, Matronics, Curtis Blow, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Queen Latifah, MC Light, the whole Native Tongues. Who else? Ultramagnetic MCs, Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean like, who else? Schoolie D, Just Ice. You know what I'm saying? The Juice Crew. You know what I mean? Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just letting people know that if it wasn't, he was just letting y'all know that if it wasn't for those cats I just mentioned, he would not be in the game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a very dope track. More MCs need to do that shit. They need to like they need to start making songs dedicated to the pioneers who paved the way for them to start spitting. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about that track right there. You know what I mean? Track number 13, Fuck the World. That was produced by Shock G. Dope song. He just talking about fuck the world. Fuck what they stand for. You know what I mean? Fuck them all. You know what I'm saying? Classic. Track number 15. Track number 14, Duff Around the Corner. One of my favorite tracks of this album right here. Fucking like that beat by Johnny J is fucking. Oh my god, that shit right here is ill, man. Like definitely love that shit. Pac just body this joint, man. He's just talking about how he knows he's talking about his near death experience. Pretty much like he know he's going to die. You know what I mean? Like he know that his life is going to be over and shit like that. He just just preparing for his death and shit like that. That's what we just talking about. You know what I mean? And the last track number 15, Outlaw, featuring Dromicidal. Great way to end the album. You know what I'm saying? Like they all did their thing. Just talking about the life of being an outlaw, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? All right. By far, this is Pac's best album. Yeah, his best album, man. I mean, definitely one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. I mean, he just spoke about paranoia, you know, everything, man. Like he just put his heart and soul into making this a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, I'm gonna say this, yo. Before Tupac joined Duff Row, he we mean get prepared, man. Fuck them niggas, man. That's Tupac fans to myself said that this album is his best album. Like I said, I love All Eyes on Me. Don't get me wrong, I like All Eyes on Me, but people don't. This album don't really get. I mean, like people don't really. Oh man, this is crazy. Like I kind of feel like this is the type of album that you can relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like this album really got me through a lot of shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dealing with the death of both my grandparents and shit like that. Like I really needed an album that could just, you know, uplift me. You know what I'm saying? And this album was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I'm in a sad mood, I just play this album. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just play this album without skipping a track. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna say this though. Before Tupac, I mean, like Tupac made better music. I mean, my favorite era of Tupac is before from 1991. I mean, shit, how can I say this? Fuck. In my opinion, Tupac made his best music before he joined Death Row. That's what I'm trying to say. Like before Pac joined Death Row, his music was better in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I love the Death Row Pac, but that's what people that this is what bothers me when it comes to when people and Tupac. Like people only know Tupac from him joining Death Row and All Eyes on Me and wilding out for the camera, you know, dissing Biggie and shit like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that Pac, but I kind of feel like people don't really talk about Tupac when he was like with his Digital Underground days and because you understand, before Tupac joined Death Row, he was doing that conscious shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he was more of a conscious artist. But I kind of feel like people don't really give Tupac credit. I feel like his conscious side don't really get credit. You know what I'm saying? Don't really get talked about. Because Pac, he's very versatile. You know what I'm saying? That tells you right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is Pac's best album. You know what I mean? Like definitely a 5 mic classic in my personal opinion. I mean, like the production is top notch. The lyricism are so realistic. Like you could just picture this album being a fucking man. Like definitely love this album. Definitely in my top. This is my top 10 favorite fucking hip hop album of all time. Yes, this is definitely my top 10, man. I mean, like I just love this album to death, man. I mean, straight up, like I could just go on and on and on about this shit all fucking day. You know what I mean? Definitely one of my favorites of all time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if you're a fan of Tupac, you're a fan of West Coast hip hop, fan of mid 90s hip hop, or just hip hop in general, this down for you. This is Tupac, Me Against the World, 1995. Must cop, definitely a classic. By the way, rest in peace. All right, that was it for volume 26 of my rap update. That was it, y'all. Hope y'all guys enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for some more shit. All right, hope you enjoy it. Salute.